Hello.
Hi there. Hi, hello. You just right into it. That's good. This is the Keys bartender. I imagine the production company, 43 Keys, is going to be putting that music in. And we're over the hump of episode 2001. I'm here with Anna, Jenna's sister, who's down from Minnesota. I say it close?
Oh, you said it very Minnesotan.
I said it? Minnesotan. And this is episode 2001. I'm going to call this one, It's Okay Not to Drink. I'm not just saying in general. I'm saying when you come up to the bar, I have people come up to me and they sit down and I go, hey, how you doing? And they're like, I'm so sorry, I don't want to have a drink. So what are you going to do here? You know? Oh, no, I want to eat. I said, okay.
Well, that's fine, too.
Yeah.
No, I hated as a server when you went up and you would start to say hi or any kind of introduction, and right away they're like, I'm not ready. Okay, or whatever.
Not ready to say hello?
Yeah.
Yeah. I see that sometimes. No, not ready. And they think you're rushing them, especially at the bar. Mm-hmm. I'm at the bar and they say, listen, I'm going to be here all night.
Mm-hmm.
Right? When you're ready, and I circle my hand around and stuff like that. When you're ready, I'm going to be ready to serve you. So you don't have to, no pressure. And don't feel the pressure to drink. They go, well, I really don't drink. I'm like, do you want to drink? And they go, no, I don't drink. And then finally, you see these people, well, maybe I'll have a vodka. A vodka
what?
A vodka. A vodka what? You just want vodka? Oh, yeah, a vodka and ginger ale. You have apple juice? You know, I'm like, wait a second. Obviously.
Well.
I know. At least I know when they ask for the weird stuff or like a cocktail that they're not a problem drinker.
Oh, so true.
If they ask for like what their a grasshopper or something the grandmother used to drink. They say some
naked Stoli martini up with a twist.
I see some guys come in with, they're not drinkers at all, and they come in with girls that are drinkers.
Right.
They want to be with some of the girls that are drinkers, and a lot of girls, and they're faking it. And the guys come in and they order a girly drink, and you just think, wow, you're fucking yourself over, buddy. But I always tell them it's all right not to drink, to have a club soda and the other people. I was sober for 7 years. I dated girls that drank all the time. A couple times, there was a couple women hung out and they just got all shit faced and stuff like that. And I just took them home. They said, "Why didn't you stay the night?" And I said, "You were intoxicated and I wasn't. That's not fair."
No, it's kind of.
You're not going to get any.
No.
Affirmative answer.
No.
It's. I mean.
Is it worth it at that point? If you don't even remember, is it worth it? No.
No, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't even think about it. Go like, oh, that's over there. Now, if we both were,
that could have
again,
downward. Whoa, down.
Some of the things wouldn't have worked, and that'll work. The whole
relationship
performance issues.
Yes.
Performance issues that guys have when they're a couple times I've had a really nice night out with a girl and
hey, sorry, we drank too much.
Drank too much. Wow. You know, some guy says, I never drank too much. I'm like, wow, okay. Well, I have done that. And I notice when I don't drink that much, I'm much better, even at my age.
Oh, yeah.
At 56, I'm much better than when. So I guess.
I don't like the lack of control, you know. So
erectile dysfunction some of it could be with the way your lifestyle.
Yeah. It could be aging. Yeah. It could be lots of different things. They have lots of help, and not all of it is Viagra. No. Some of it is just change of a hormone.
Yep. Hey, Jenna. How are you? Good. Jenna's here. Good.
Hello.
We just started like 5 minutes ago. Here we go. How was your day at work?
It was work.
It was work?
Yeah. I mean, it would be called fun if it wasn't work.
You know what? All you have to do is change your state of mind when you go into work. You know, if you enjoy your work, you never have to. You enjoy your job, you never have to work a day in your life. I know. I think it's probably the fifth time.
It's something like that.
Yeah. Or if you drink at work.
Oh, well, I've had servers that have gotten intoxicated while at work. They no longer work.
That's the flip side of it's not okay to drink.
Right.
The flip side. When you're sampling, I wanted to get... that's a perfect segue, Anna. Like, it's funny, people come in, they feel guilty about not drinking, and the people... I've worked with people that get totally shit-faced. I told you about the guy that had the IV drug abuse problem. He would just start talking, and he wasn't drinking, but he was doing something. He would just start talking. He goes, yeah, I have a couple tables over there, and then go to sleep. Go to sleep right in the middle of a conversation. And then I had other people, one woman, and she still comes to this day, comes and sees me, and she goes, yeah, she calls me the wrong name. And I said, we worked together for almost a year. And I said to her, yeah, we worked together at the Encore. And she goes, no, you didn't. And I said, I worked there 10 years. And then I recounted the night. And I said, do you recall a night when you had 2 tables? One table wasn't drinking. One was one guy. And the one guy was having beer. Then all of a sudden, you put in an order for a Manhattan, and then a vodka martini, and then a gin and tonic, which I didn't see that guy drink at all. And we knew the other table was outside at the outside bar, and we see that. And she said, that guy in the corner's been saying some weird stuff to me. Well, it turns out she was probably hallucinating from having drank a Manhattan, a martini, and a gin and tonic. And that night she broke a series of glasses. She didn't get fired for that. She got fired because after a while they were trying to figure why she kept on breaking stuff. And it turned out she was shit-faced at work. It happens a lot. You see people come in and you say, wow, that person's really shit-faced. And I think people look at me sometime when I'm at work, and I could be slurring my words and doing things like that, but that's from lack of sleep sometimes.
I think that's different.
Yeah. Well,
Tired slurring and drunken slurring are a little...
And they get a little silly and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I get pensive. This is my first beer today, and I'm just... Sometimes I'll be in a train of thought and talking. I'll just stop talking. But this is not about me. It's about other people. When you're behind a bar, and now they're watching you, you have...
camera surveillance.
Cameras all over the place. They're so...
You almost have to, though. There's too many weirdos that'll come in after you.
Well,
you know?
The cameras are there for that and to watch for stealing.
Yes, and theft is a big thing. You know, if you want a successful restaurant, control your theft, your waste, and your portions.
Yeah. And they, I guess, with the drinking, there's, when someone's pouring a drink, unless you have portion control, they have these shot pours that are linked up, and they do automatic, what do you call it, inventory control.
Right.
Like it's one shot, and they ring it up, it goes on.
Right.
And things like that. But with these old style bars, you're pouring a drink or something, you got stuff left in the shaker.
Right.
You give the dirty ice to someone, you drain it off. You don't know where that went.
Right.
So there's an opportunity to be intoxicated most places. You have the opportunity to be intoxicated the whole time.
And funny thing is they'll get kind of crafty about becoming intoxicated while they're at work too. Like you said, you had drinks rung up, and you're like, where did those go?
I wasn't really tracking of her. It was only after the fact when she got fired for breaking glasses that I recognized that. So, hey Tyler,
hi.
How you doing, buddy?
Hi. Hello.
I was telling Anna here that I accidentally purchased the tiny bottles of Bud Light when I was walking out with the case. I thought it was a giant. I'm looking at the case. I go, I must be getting bigger. And then I looked at it.
That's what I said too.
And I rang it up. I said, "This 12 cans of beer," and it was only like $7.85. And
do they still call them ponies?
Yeah.
Do they still call them ponies?
Yeah, but there were cans.
Oh.
Tiny cans. The tiny bottles. Which is fine. They stay colder longer. Hello, Jenna.
Hello.
Welcome.
I've done that too with the Bud Lights before. I picked it up and I'm like, geez, I must be getting stronger.
Yeah, these things are
Here is
light.
heavy. And then you're like, oh.
There's 12 of them.
You get home, you open it up.
If I drank 12 in a series of two, it still would be
Still,
a mellow mess.
It's disappointing after 3 sips and you're like, oh, it's empty.
Actually, you know what? I pace it. I think like in a show for me, I think maybe that would be a show. Would be four 8-ounce cans. Would be 2 16-ounce cans.
That might be a show, yeah.
Yeah.
But that's four beers. It's just baby beers.
Yeah. Well, we were talking about people that drank at work.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had a sales job where we used to go out and drink during lunch. And we'd have
I used to be a waitress when they could deduct it, so you'd have 2 tables and walk home with $300 in tips because they were drinking.
You're not supposed to. You shouldn't drink at work when you're bartending because you got to watch out for people. It's hard for you. Watch out for people. You got to be carding and you have that judgment. But on your birthday, it's really hard because people say, hey, "Listen, let me buy you a drink. Let me buy you a drink." Say, well, I realize I'm working in a bar, but you got to realize that 8 people that Saturday night when I worked, the night of my birthday.
Right.
We used wooden nickels. You remember wooden nickels?
Yeah.
We used those when anybody wanted to buy a bartender a drink. We used wooden nickels.
Yeah, if they insisted,
so then the bartender could have a pocket full.
At the end of the night, and one guy actually told, asked, do me a favor, can he just take the drink here? There was a regular customer, and they said all right. But starting those things. If it was me and I was drinking during the job, oh shit! At the end of the day, it would just be a mess. A mess. Broken glass everywhere. You used to see that all the time when someone's drinking broken glass behind a bar. Whenever you had glass all over the place,
spilt juice of like the cherries and that kind of debris left behind too. Not totally prepped or not everything kind of just sloppily done.
Yeah, and I'd like to see them do a couple tricks, pulling down glasses if you had the glass overhang, just pulling the base of the glass off the stem. I've seen that before where a guy pulled
well, I'm short. I've done it just because I'm short.
Yeah, they did it because they were drunk and they just, kind of twisted it right off.
What are those big foam cups that they have at Circle K called? Polar Pops. Polar Pop down here. I had a delivery driver that would fill a Polar Pop with 4 Loko and drive around in a shop truck.
Really?
Yep.
4 Loko?
4 Loko.
4 Loko is that energy drink?
It's like an energy drink
with malt liquor.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Really heavy stuff, actually, like really powerful, strong.
It's like trailer park.
Yeah, and he would drink 4 Loko in his Slurpee cup or whatever you call it, and we fired him. We caught him.
Oh shit! The liability would occur with something like that. Driving around the.
Can you imagine on one? Oh, holy cow!
Well,
that's a total liability.
He still drives around for work because I see him once in a while.
Truckers,
he works for a pest.
Have a cooler right next to him. They be drinking and driving their rigs.
That's crazy.
Yeah. On what's the stuff they use? Benzodrine to stay up on, or?
Oh, I'm not sure.
Bennies sort of thing. That's why they call them. I think it's Benzodrine. To keep them awake, and then they're drinking on side of it. It's before they started really enforcing the old days when they pull you over and you were drunk. Like they used to make fun of it, like in the Andy Griffith Show. The town drunk would just have the key to the cell, and he'd come in and open up the cell and go to sleep there. I forget the guy's name. Never remember the Andy Griffith Show?
Yeah, with One Bullet Barney.
Yeah, One Bullet Barney. To keep it,
what was that guy's name? I kind of remember it.
The guy, he always wore a suit.
But they were like all related. So was it like uncle or cousin or something like that?
Not that southern thing. They were
related.
Amy Aunt B, who was suspiciously, every time heard her accent, it was really high-class Southern. Aunt B sounded like she grew up, like not that far from a plantation. Because she had...
Wasn't the backstory in that she had to come because Andy or Opie's mommy died and Aunt B had to come in and save the day. So I think she had some weird background.
Yeah, that's the only ones related. You had Andy and all that stuff. But the point was, back then, the public drunkenness, they were considered even a mild vice, let's say, instead of a crime. And if someone got in an accident, unless you killed somebody, it wasn't really a crime sometimes. You had, it used to be a joke about the pilots before they get on the plane having, drinks at the airport bar.
Yep.
At the airport bar. Just imagine that, drinking. I mean, back then, you figure that would have been the pilots and truck drivers. Police officers, there's one, Philadelphia. I won't say the guy's name, but I worked in a catering hall. And I did mention this to Papa Joe. Guy had a 9-ounce Pilsner glass, and he drank, he would come stop by the catering hall I worked, and he would drink at least 2 Windsor Canadian Manhattans, 9-ounce Pilsner glass.
Well, that's equivalent to what, 4.5 Manhattans?
That's almost a bottle.
Like 4.5 Manhattans.
12 ounces of liquor.
I'd be puking and they'd be pumping my stomach.
Yeah, and the guy eventually got shot on the job, and he got shot through his hand. I think someone drew on him, and it was a defensive wound. He was sitting in the vehicle. He probably was passing out. I don't know why they shot him because he wasn't going to come out and chase him. He wasn't even going to call up. He probably wasn't going to call it up because he was intoxicated. I mean, imagine if something would happen if you show up with an armed robbery and you're on duty.
Do they? Okay, so and then that to the segue of gun violence too. So now do they test police officers after for blood alcohol? If they fired their weapon, do they?
Oh, yeah.
Is that part of their, we got to test this officer for drugs and alcohol after he shot a weapon? I mean, now with all of, they've got body cameras and all of that stuff. But if the cops are even one drink in, they shouldn't be handling a weapon. Is that something they test?
I don't think there's anything, I don't think they have that widespread abuse anymore because of the testing for it. I imagine that would have been the same thing with the pilots. Think of all the pilots when they started getting strict. How many of these pilots?
I mean, think about like the movie Airport.
Yep.
That was what, like 1977 or something like that, right? They were the Dean Martin was one of the pilots, and he was shit-faced in it because that was his character always. But half the time,
really didn't drink.
No, he didn't drink, but his character was always playing that. Ha ha ha! I'm a drunk cavalier dude. And it was perfectly acceptable as, the star of a movie.
Yeah. And the real drunk of that crew, though, we're not talking about the airplane. Who was in that? It was Dean Martin.
George Kennedy. And I picked a bad day to get off cocaine.
No, that's airplane. Airplane. There's airport. You're talking.
Yeah, airport.
There was airport, and you could use airport with airplane. That was Lloyd Bridges. That
was drinking on the job. A bad day to do drugs.
A bad day to give up
cigarettes and give up
drinking and snorting glue.
Yeah.
Yeah, that last one was snorting glue, and then he started popping over there. But that wasn't too far. That was the air traffic controller. He was an air traffic controller.
Still.
The air traffic controllers, too, because of the pressure of air traffic. And I told you I worked in a business of circuit board business. Air traffic controllers, I didn't deal with them directly, but I dealt with a company that sold equipment to them. And they used, at the time, they used 30-year-old technology for their Yeah,
Isn't that crazy?
All that stuff.
That's crazy. There's a little bitty airport by my house, and sometimes it scares the crap out of me because that's outdated equipment.
Well, in one way it was good, but it's called a wire wrap board. And instead of creating circuits that are building the board, they did them going wire to pin, and they created their own circuits. And then I looked at it and I go, well, what are you selling these? The company I was making them for, I wasn't making them myself. The company I worked for was making them for them. Because, we sell the FAA. And I go, are you kidding me? I thought they were selling it to like a former Soviet
bloc
Warsaw
country or something,
country. This is technology that's going into our air traffic control system that was around from before when I was born, and I was 32 at the time. So, but and now on that job, we were talking to airlines. That was the job when you go out to lunch, we'd have like a glass of wine, 2 glasses of wine. One guy said to me, he says, hey, you know what? He told this story. He says when he was a younger salesman, he was an older salesman. He says the sales manager said, you guys got to drink gin when you're out. And they go, why? And he says, we hold up better? He goes, no, because they can smell it on your breath. And if you go and get drunk during lunch, I want them to think you're drunks, not fucking idiots. Because you can't smell, they said they think you can smell vodka on your breath, which is not true.
Well,
you can smell vodka. You can smell vodka on someone's breath. It's just alcohol starts metabolizing in your lungs and
right.
Yeah, you're going to smell it. But yeah, that guy wanted you to have gin, so you see it.
So it was extra fragrant.
Yeah. Oh, and there was I was in trades. I did carpentry, and one of the crane operators, he had the big cirrhosis belly, skinny guy with the big cirrhosis. It was a crane operator, and he was the guy lowering steel down on top of our heads, and he'd go out to lunch, and his face was he came back from lunch, and his face was red. And he was shit-faced. And he was bringing in 5 tons of stuff right over top of you. We were doing the inside of a water treatment center, and we were building a cap.
Were other people aware of this?
Well, a lot of people. The carpenters were drunk. They were walking on the girders.
Wow.
Girders they put out to build the concrete form. They were putting a cap on top of a tank, and they had to build an edge of concrete, and the ring of the concrete was weighing about 40 tons, but we needed about 8 tons of steel to go in there to form it up. And the guys were bringing it in, and you had these, you had the scaffolding, and you had these guys walking on the scaffolding. They were drinking too, and the guy in the crane. And all I wanted to do was just get out of that tank.
Run!
Yeah, just get out of there, because I said, oh shit. And they said, when you have and I can understand being a carpenter, you want to have a drink, because that guy that's operating the crane is doing that.
He's already drunk.
He's drunk, so you figure might as well him. But I saw a guy hit a hornet's nest when he was walking on one of these things, and he just they had the beams out, and the beams weren't secured by clamps. They used clamps to secure them. And he started running, and he hit a beam that wasn't secured by a clamp. It was just laid out, and he stepped on it, slid. He ran. He fell through the scaffolding down like one of those pachinko balls in a Japanese thing. Their pinball machines that are upright.
Right.
Ding, 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 ding.
Bounce all the way down.
35 feet down the thing. And he broke a couple ribs, his shoulder, his elbow, and all that stuff. But that's what we're talking about, drinking on the job.
Like Plinko on Price is Right.
Yeah. Oh, the Yodeler guy? No,
No, he falls over the edge. You drop a coin kind of thing on a flat board between the pins. Plinko on Price is Right. Plinko.
Plinko's like pachinko.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
And you drop the big puck at the top, and it goes ding, 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 and you hope you hit the big money.
Oh.
Bathroom break?
Yeah, we should take a bathroom break.
Right.
It's 25 minutes. We can do a commercial.
Beautiful.
And then come back.
Refresh our beverages.
Hold on.
See
We'll
you
be
shortly.
back.
If you want to get your information about the Florida Keys straight from the locals who live here and the ones who love it here, well, we've got you covered. Visit 43keys.com as your source for everything Florida Keys. Sign up for our newsletter and you'll always be up to date on all the Keysy stuff that's going on down here. Go to 43keys.com. That's the number 4, the number 3, keys.com, and sign up today.
We're back. Hey, we just instead we don't have that ill-fated, ill-executed segue anymore because we had to break. I got a summons for jury duty on September 16th, and I filled it out accurately. I highlighted the things that would make me a horrible choice to be on the jury duty. First of all, I'm in the restaurant business, so I don't get paid. Number 2, I'm a podcaster, a comedy. I do a comedy show. And then if they ask me, well, will you talk about this? I said, yes, I will talk about this. I'll talk about this a lot. And the longer I'm kept, the longer I'll talk about it. But I also thought, what other things could I do to enhance that? I did. It's all in my work for the Treasury Department. I said specifically the IRS.
So you enhanced it to where you don't get called upon, right?
I don't know. Because I worked for the IRS. I did work for the IRS, but that was a job I had over 12 years ago. I do have a lot of friends with police officers.
Well,
when I say enhanced, I featured the things that weren't, and you can't.
But so this letter you got was just a thin piece of kind of construction paper letter, right?
I know where you're going.
No tracking device in it or anything like that. How the hell do they know you still live where you live? Every time I get one, I rip it up, I throw it in the trash.
Every election.
There is no way they're going to know that you are still there.
And I actually know people that work for the courts.
Unless they send them certified mail with your signature guarantee.
Which they don't.
Which they do not. They cannot verify that you've ever received the notice.
Because I realize I do realize my duty. I said I'm going to highlight and I'm going to do that. I'm not going to lie about it.
I did it once. I got paid $25 and missed out $75 of my actual pay for that day.
I understand that. I'm not judging anybody for doing or not doing their thing, and I don't think you should ever say that, just in case. What I was thinking about, what is the best way to show up? I also thought maybe I should show up dressed like Sherlock Holmes.
You could. Although I have seen one of those that was mismailed.
The Star Trek fucking lady got picked for the O.J. Simpson, one of the O.J. Simpson civil trial. She was in a command. She was dressed like a commander of Starfleet, and they fucking picked her.
Well, the funny thing about our small town down here is the one time I went, I was the nicest dressed person out of 125 that were in that courtroom, which only seats about 80. And we sat there for 4.5 hours to decide who was getting picked for the 2 cases. And that was it. And
I got excused right because the trial that when we spoke about it, I think it wasn't. I did it. I think it was last year. And Craig, Craig and Melanie, they come in a bar. Craig, my buddy Craig, was sitting next to me, and it was for a case where a guy had a gunfight with Monroe County sheriffs up at 107, and I remember reading about it. And I told it and said, anybody read this? Does anybody know? And I raised my hand. It was true. I read, because I read the paper every week. So I thought, what are the things if you get dressed like a lawyer, you can say, well, I'm currently trying out for a part in a legal drama. That'd be good. I bring in a briefcase.
Yeah.
Are you a lawyer? No. I'm not a lawyer.
I will tell you,
but I pretend to be one.
But when they send you the little card in the mail, which I've never gotten one myself, I've received one that was mislabeled and sent to my house for maybe a previous resident. But it just has boxes to check, and at the very bottom line, it has one that says like other, and it only gives you 3 lines to write of what your extenuating circumstances would be why you think that you should.
I just want to be excused until like October because I said I'm giving a vacation in October. In the thing, and so if you have any trials, I'd be happy to. I'm giving 3 weeks off, so I would love to do something like that. And they're like, "Well, we're not here." I'm like, "You fucking can't afford work to live down here anyway."
Yeah.
So I want to do my civic duty. Another thing I'm thinking about is a bloodstained shirt because I'm not carrying a weapon, but I'm going to say, and you have a little blood on you and something. Just got a little altercation. Open sores. Open sores.
You could, yeah, or you could just like fake like a whooping cough, like like cough on people.
Really, a clear bag full of toilet paper and wet naps.
And sit there holding your stomach the whole day?
No. I'll just tell them I have I have problems with I have a bad IBS.
Yeah, you're
and I just got to be ready. Yeah. I got to be ready at all time. Maybe throw a couple Depends back to the Depends in there. I said I get really nervous sometimes, and then they ask me how is it a bar? How are you a bartender? I said, well, it's really tough. I'm just saying it's really difficult.
They don't judge me on my diapers at work.
Yeah. Well, the last one I have is body odor. I just sit there and go on. I can't control it.
I would think if you had like halitosis and you went and breathed on people.
Yeah, but you don't get called upon the judge at that time. It's you're sitting next to other people.
A defense attorney may think that's a plus because they'll definitely say, well, we're going to acquit the guy because I cannot be sequestered with this person, this asshole. So, I mean, are there any other things you can think about that I can do? I mean, if you show up drunk, you can actually be thrown in jail. Because,
right.
How'd you get here?
So you don't want to do that. You could go in blackface.
You can get a nice white T-shirt and say "Pro OJ" on it.
OJ
if
was
the
framed.
glove doesn't
Or
fit.
I love Tiger Woods. All those kind of things.
Or maybe, but then I'm not. I mean, I could do that. I mean, that'd be more something like a Hooters waitress would have, because he likes Hooters waitresses.
Right.
You could show up in cross-dress
and be like I couldn't do a Nazi symbol because that just would be
but you could go in a dress and heels.
Mm-hmm.
That still would ruin my reputation.
And put on some lipstick.
That's
I'm sure it would work, but
I think in a previous episode he did say he has worn a dress before.
A wedding dress.
Yeah.
But I didn't try to look that way. I did that. I purposely tried to look as masculine as I could wearing a wedding dress.
Could do that and just like spritz some vodka on you so you smelled drunk, but you weren't.
I was parodying a typical. I was parodying a typical bride from the Rosewood, which wasn't the typical bride from the Rosewood. But since we worked there, it was an inside joke. And
did you call her like Bridie McBriderson?
No, that's on next episode. So that's good though. That's foreshadowing. Next we're saving that because I got a lot of good stuff for that one. No. You can't prove. I think it'd be. I mean, the one sure thing would definitely be the. What's the one where you shout out all the time?
Tourette's.
Oh.
Like in
ball hair.
Yeah.
Boondock Saints.
Yeah.
No.
The bartender.
Oh, yeah. I think the best one.
Taint hair.
Fuck. Ass.
Clit liquor. Just right
That's
in the middle
a
of it.
huge bitch.
In the middle. We go like this. And when
again, horrible syndrome. We're not.
I can't help it.
Yeah.
We're not horrible people.
Not horrible, but I mean, we're just trying to
get out of jury duty.
And go like this. Dickhead! I can't.
Murderer!
It just happens. Under stress.
Rapist!
And they go like this. You're going to have to see a doctor. I said, the diagnosis is intermittent.
Yeah.
It just happens when I'm in a courtroom. In Philadelphia,
it's court stress.
In Philadelphia, there were a lot more understanding because there were a lot more of us there. And so when you hear me say dick bag or cunt hair, it's not you got to think of it as a cough.
It's like Deuce Bigelow, male gigolo.
Yeah. So there's you can't show up drunk. Narcoleptic.
Yes, I was just thinking of that too.
I did one time during jury duty. I was on, I think around 5 trials, and I was a foreman on 3 of them. So sometimes that got me out when someone asked. You can't ask what the verdict was, but I think they were allowed to ask something about that, and I just blurted out, well, I was a foreman on 3, and he said, I didn't ask that question. And I go, oh, I didn't know. I didn't know how far. You're supposed to only say yes and no. The judge looked at me and go like this, and the defense attorney goes, well, like that. And I go, fuck yeah. You can't
screw that part up.
No, they're going to use. He has. They have strikes for cause, for no cause. For cause, they can say, well, yeah, this guy's obviously. I just proved through my voir dire talking to him that he's going to favor the law profession. So that's for cause, and there could be for no cause. For no cause would be. I don't like the looks of him. The guy has a crew cut. He looks like he could be. It looks like he could be a bigot, and my defendant happens to be an African American. But that'd be for no cause, because the guy didn't give any answer. He may not give any answer that seemed that way. If he gave a bigoted answer, and I could never give a bigoted answer, but I could do. I think I could see myself doing it.
You could say that you've been accused at the workplace of being a misogynist.
That's right. That's right. She was in yet the other day. Man,
was
it's funny. The one and her husband is so much more guilty of it. The guy lays tile and stuff like that, and I'm thinking, what's that guy like? What are you talking about? So. Yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm going to show up. I took the day off already. I'm going to go there. I'm going to read all.
How do you know you were called upon already?
What? Oh, I'm just going to show up.
Yeah, you're just going to randomly volunteer.
Whether they call upon you or not, you're just going to show up there?
Well, they called me. I got to show there. I got to show up September 16th.
But
you got to call? Do I have to call the day before?
I don't know, because you filled out saying, oh, this is why I can't be a good candidate.
I didn't put that in. No, I didn't. I filled out the form, but you turn it in when you go there.
Oh, gotcha.
Because they're going to read it when you go in there. I didn't put in why I couldn't be a good candidate. I didn't say that. I said if I was a defense attorney, I is a guy I would strike for no cause. I just that I put it in there so he strike me for cause, so I don't have to say anything against my.
Yeah,
it'd be against my nature to say something hateful.
Well, part of my thing is a couple times that I have been called upon, I always check that yes, I am a relative of a police officer, and every time I still filled that out and resent it or showed up, they still had me stay and called upon.
Yeah. Well,
they don't care about that anymore.
Yeah, I just try to introduce myself to all the police officers and stuff like that. I know about 30 people in Monroe County. Chances are pretty good. I go, oh yeah, I know that one. I know you, Judge, who serve you a bunch of drinks. And stuff like that. And a couple of the attorneys here. So, yeah. So I'm thinking I'm pretty comfortable with that. We got a couple minutes left. I wanted to mention that if you guys do come into town, the Key Largo, please come to the Catch and have a drink with me. I work a double Monday, double Wednesday most times. I'm not doing it this week because it's Labor Day weekend, and I'm supposedly working Saturday night. But we have a storm off the coast, which we're going to talk about in the next episode.
Hurricane party.
Well,
no, we're calling this a feeder band party.
Feeder band party.
Because it's not a hurricane, so we can't have a hurricane party.
Yeah.
And you're not going to call it a tropical storm party. That's kind of lame. So a feeder band party, because that's all we're going to get hit by. Probably 90%.
It's always like that.
Yeah.
I remember the first time I went through one of them. It was back in 2008. We had a decent one come through, and that's when a girl I was seeing called up and told me her the coconut tree in front of her house was on fire. I was during a rainstorm. I said, what do you mean it's on fire?
Struck by lightning.
Nope.
No.
It was a live wire.
Ah.
hit it, and it was really cool because it was wet and all the it was continuously arcing across the palms. It looked really neat there and stuff like that. And she had to call the electric company to come in and fix it. So I had to go over and comfort her.
It's that guy next door.
Yeah, I had to go and comfort her. And it moved the relationship. I had 2 bases. We were at second. I moved it all the way to the thing. That pine tree.
I think our favorite one since Jenna has been here
Coconut.
is Hurricane Matthew, because our stepson is Matthew. So we had Hurricane Matthew that came through here. And Jenna's favorite part was she was able to, 4 years ago, she was able to walk outside and kick one of our chairs over and knock it over and say, "Oh, Hurricane Matthew came by," because we didn't have anything.
Nothing.
Yeah.
We just had like our normal 20-mile-an-hour winds and a little bit of rain.
And it was supposed to hit us, but it turned. So.
Oh yeah, I put all those. Was 3 years ago?
Yeah, something like that.
So. Yep, because we were living at their house. Yep, and
was on Palm Drive.
And we had a hurricane party because Riva closed because we didn't know if it was going to hit.
We were in the cone. So you can't work when you're in the cone.
That close to the cone, and it was like, okay, well, hurricane party. So pretty much.
Who's going to come and buy a boat when
you can't sell them?
Well, I can sell them, but I can't bind. They can't bind insurance.
No, but who's going to come down and buy a boat?
Right? And they're like, oh, I'm going to go buy this boat.
Hey, if we flood. Great selling point.
Yeah.
Can't get to your house, come buy a boat.
Yeah, just watch out for all the hurricane debris in the water.
Well, we're looking at that closely, and we're not. I've been through
glancing, not closely.
The near ones that now I know. I remember I was putting up when I put up for Irma. Some guy was busting my balls, putting up the shutters for Irma. And I said, "Are you kidding me? This is the closest I've ever seen this. It was dead on the whole time. It didn't veer. We were to center. It only veered like 20 miles from the center. So why would you not do it?" So, and it turned out, it turned out that it was good that we did because I could have lost windows and stuff.
Yeah.
I did lose a tree in front of the house.
But
we're just going to be on the lookout for that.
To the remainder of our hurricane season, for the locals that will never leave again due to our county ordinance of not entering back, stay safe.
Yes, stay safe. None of us are leaving again. Most of the locals.
Speak for yourself.
No, most of the locals are saying, "I will never leave again."
Yep. I know. Well, I got a 13-year-old daughter.
I've stayed for every storm.
I know. It's different.
Left this last one and got screwed over.
You're mature and you reach the majority age of majority, 18. It's your decision. I can't do that. I can't make that decision.
Yeah, you got a young life to take care of.
If I was on my own, I wouldn't. I want to say hi to Missy and Taylor. They're a young couple that came in and they brought up the nicest couple. They're she is she works at the hospital with me, and he's in the Coast Guard. And they recently got they've been married, but they I guess they're called solemnized, not sodomized.
Sodomized.
Solemnized, swear, whatever it is.
Solemnization, where they went to the holy rites, Catholic. They went to the Catholic Mass. They had a Catholic Mass.
Okay.
They had a civil marriage, and they went, and over the summer they had it. Boy, that sounds like sodomized.
It does. But you are talking about Catholics.
Story. The brother who was unaccustomed to giving a speech, the brother of a sodomized could do also up the rear. She was
sodomized of the rear.
Blowjob right there, or symbolizing blowjob. But the brother was giving the toast as the best man, and it was great. He said, "This is Taylor's brother." He says, "I want to be intimately involved in your marriage," and everyone in the wedding went whoa like that, and he went. And he looked at him and he goes, he just realized what he said.
Yeah.
He meant to be involved in a relationship, but as a supportive person, not inside a threesome with his brother.
Yeah.
Who Missy is a lovely girl.
Tyler's not to be a special guest or
Taylor. He's Taylor.
Groomsman or anything like that.
He's Taylor.
I'm not allowed to be any of those
no,
anymore.
you would not want to have. Tyler would have said something.
Tyler be wrong with?
Tyler likes to drink a lot, especially when it's free booze at weddings.
And likes to talk about himself in the
No. It just doesn't come out the right way.
No, but Tyler's talking in third person.
He is talking about himself in the third person.
Okay.
Tyler is talking about himself in the third person.
They mentioned homemade pickles, and we were doing a flaccid pickle and all that thing. I have a message. I have Parisian listeners. I have a message for my Parisian listeners. Je t'aime. Je t'adore. Thanks for listening.
I like you, I love you.
Yeah.
Oh.
Thank you for listening.
Are we growing in any other places?
Pittsburgh,
Pittsburgh,
a big crowd in Pittsburgh. I didn't mean to clear my throat. Pittsburgh.
No, it was. Are we growing in any other places? And I was like, well,
Pittsburgh.
Jim, you probably
Alabama
shouldn't be growing in those places during the podcast.
Oregon.
We have a big Oregon.
I'm gonna play some Oregon Trail.
Minnesota mom.
Minnesota mom. What else?
Colorado. We have
Delaware.
The cousins.
Colorado,
the cousins in Colorado.
Yeah, Colorado. We've been.
Nicole, Nadine.
Was it Ordman?
I don't know.
Is that because
Nebraska?
of FG?
Do we know anybody in Elkhorn, Nebraska?
I don't know.
Maybe if FG went through there.
Well, FG did go through Nebraska.
So Elkhorn, Nebraska.
And then she went to Kansas and she met strange people.
Yes, and she probably talked about us beyond belief at every place she stopped.
I was worried about her still having her skin.
I'd like to say hello to Ukraine and Slovakia. Did I tell you about that one?
So yes, you did.
The charitable thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, they go and show me that in Ukraine, I was the 863rd highest comedy show. Well, I don't have any listeners in Ukraine. So that means there's got to be 863 or 63 comedy shows there. So all I need is to get probably 3 listeners in the Ukraine to move me up to like in the top 200.
Right.
And I mean, I'm sure there's some guys, whatever they do, they interview a goat, maybe a chicken. And there's Slovakia. Someone in Slovakia. I don't know how that happened.
I would think it would be funny to interview one of those screaming goats.
Why? It's called Chartable, and they show me my chart standings in different countries, but they pick Russia, which in Russia actually I was like 283. That's a big country too. I mean, they got like relatively 150 million people, so I must have had some listeners in there. But Slovakia, or can you pick Slovakia and Ukraine? We're not geared towards that. And they never gave me Poland. Poland, I bet I'm within the top 300 or 200 in Poland.
There is a good Russian and Slovakian presence in Key West, though. So if there's any Key West listeners that maybe tell their friends back home.
Oh, yeah, that's the one. That's the only one. But unless they maybe were diving here or something, maybe they're planning on being a mail order bride. I would like to pitch. Wait, you know what? We'll talk about that. We'll talk about. We did talk about the 90-day fiance. Well, maybe we could prep. We could become the #1 forecast on how to prep mail order brides.
I think that we should host an episode from one of the strip clubs in Key West, and then you'll see what I'm talking about.
The Ray Garter. Or, what's the other one?
I don't know.
You don't know? You don't know all the other ones?
No. I don't go to Key West.
Okay.
I used to be a fan of Woody's before it got nasty about 8 years ago.
Woody's was nasty when I first came down.
Yeah, well, locals get in free Tuesday, and you don't have to sit up close. You can sit at the bar.
I want to say what this guy said about the girl that there. He said,
the reason it's Granny Boppin' Tuesday, C-section Thursday. I mean, there's all kinds of things.
Mm-hmm. Well, wait a second. Oh, we want to do a show from Woody's, though.
I mean, there's nothing new, but you have to go on the weekends.
No, but I said that.
The weekends.
Daytime strippers.
The weekends, they bring all the girls from Miami down.
Real sad thing. Are they actually open during the daytime?
Yeah, I think they open at 4. I think. Something like that.
There is a chasm, and I use that term loosely. That's a tiny beer. That's good.
Back in my partying days, me and my buddies,
daytime strippers versus.
Well, and that's the thing is we used to go there every Tuesday, and we had a local girl that never gave her name. You never saw her out, and blah blah blah. And we would come back on Tuesdays because we got in for free, me and my buddies. And one day she broke down and she's like, "Listen, you should really come on the weekends. We bring all the girls from Miami down on the weekends."
Oh, okay. Well, thanks for telling us. But I've seen plenty of my daytimes. It's a wide chasm of talent between daytime strippers and there's that you will see women in certain. I saw one bar in Philadelphia, Jack's Place on Tarsdale Avenue, and I always thought I went there. I always got in a fight with a guy because he played pool one-handed, and I was telling him, don't try to embarrass me that way. But he says, you worry about being embarrassed in front of girls? You mean the pregnant ladies dancing up there? She was 6 months pregnant. Dancing on their 4-foot square podium behind a bar. Pregnant lady.
Maybe it was fetish night.
I mean, the best... They work there. They specialize between a 3 and maybe a 7.
I will tell you,
biggest nights, they may get a 7. That's a dancer, but that's pretty much it.
It's been 8-9 years since I've been there, maybe 10. Mm-hmm. And the last time I was there was this one that was always there on Tuesday night because we went for free. And she kept noticing that we were always there, me and my buddies. And she comes in one night and she goes, "Hey, I learned a new trick." We're like, "Okay, what's that?"
Awful.
She goes, "Well, take a $1 bill and fold it hot dog." So we folded it and put it down on the bar. She climbed up the pole. She slid down, upside down, legs up in the air, grabs a $1 bill, puts it on her private parts, and all of a sudden, poof, she made the $1 bill fly off.
Like,
there ain't nothing attractive about a queef.
I know, you got to really...
Just saying.
I mean, that's just one of those things that's a narrow talent.
So...
I know.
I've been scarred for...
I got to remember
from that.
I got to definitely remember to mark this one explicit.
I'm going to give somebody that nickname.
Okay. Well, we're going to do... Hey, I want to do it.
Let's do it. I mean...
Eden, and maybe we could do...
I'm allowed to look. I can't touch.
Yeah. I don't know if if I ask Abby nicely if I'd be allowed to do it while I'm...
Jenna is not allowed to go. She will not stop laughing the whole entire time.
Getting a private...
Very
dance.
immature.
But we could do it at the bar. We don't have to be in front of one of the dancers. We could be at the bar.
No, but I would like to do one while I'm getting a dance.
Oh, okay.
So...
Or you could be getting the dance and I can narrate it for you.
I'm going to be mic'd up for that too. Okay, we're gonna end it now and go into the next episode.
Before we get too far into this,
we can get back on that. You know what?
Word of the day.
The nicknames. We're gonna get back on the nicknames.
Worse. That it is worse than moist.
Oh, see you later,
guys. Shout outs.
Oh, shout outs. Well, we're not going to talk about the smallest bar in those.
No.
That's not going
No.
Reviews, shout outs, all that kind of stuff. Spotify, iHeartRadio.
We don't need reviews.
We don't need reviews.
Subscribers.
All right. Subscribers.
All right, so hit the subscribe button.
Subscribe and share. Share with your friends. Hey, share with your stripper friends. Make them feel good about it themselves for a change.
We are planning on doing live calls soon.
Yeah. Going to work out some of your problems. Bye.